So I've had the Tesla now for must be a month or so now, and it's been great. I've done quite a lot of kilometers, done about 6,500 kilometers in say 8 weeks, something along those lines I think it must be, and it's just been great. So a lot of those kilometers initially in the first few weeks were 2 quite large trips down to mid-north coast of New South Wales from Brisbane, where I am. And the first trip was actually a pretty good one. It was one weekend. Had to surprise my mum and dad with a new puppy. So we kept one of the puppies, and my brother actually bought the other one for my mum and dad, and we surprised them with it. So that trip was really good. The second one, I had to go down again. This time, not as happy. It was for my grandfather was getting pretty sick and ended up passing away actually on the drive down. So that was not so good. But in preparation for both of these trips, you know, I had to plan a few little things. It was my first big trips in the car, so you know, I wasn't really used to the car charging and how that was going to work. Of course, there was a few things that I made sure that I had before I went. One of those things were a couple of extra cables. So I got the Type 2 to Type 1 adapter. So this one here is from evchargers.com.au. It's been really good. I didn't use it on the trips down, but just in case I needed to. But what I have used it since then, and it's been good. It charges no problems, no issues, no smoke, no fire, nothing like that. And you know, it's quite quality. Feels like it's well put together, nicely sealed up, O-rings and things around here. So that was the first one, just in case I could only find a Type 1 charger. The second cable is this one, which I think this was their 7-meter cable, which is more than enough depending on your parking availability. And this is of course a Type 2, a Type 2 female to a Type 2 male plug. So this one is for your untethered chargers. Some of your Charge Fox ones you'll find, especially up here in Queensland with the electric superhighway, quite often you'll find the tethered and non-tethered ones. So just handy again, if I pulled up and someone was on the tethered one, then I'd be able to use the untethered one, which I thought was quite good. So I had both of those ready to go. Again, neither of those I needed because Tesla's charging network is so good. Now of course, by using a referral code when I bought the car, I had 1,500 kilometers worth of supercharging at Tesla chargers. So even up until now, none of my trips down have technically cost me anything in charging because I just used all of those. And then I still took my normal UMC, universal charger that comes with the car to charge at Mum and Dad's house when I visited down there. So the Tesla charging was really easy. On both trips we stopped at one EV charger, which that technically did cost me a couple of dollars, and that was really just a top up and mainly to get out of the Brisbane traffic and have some dinner rather than sit in the traffic and have to charge later on. Didn't have to charge there, but we decided to top up. That was just near Dreamworld there. It's quite a new charger, quite a fast, I think it's 350 kilowatt one there. And then we went down and we stopped at, I think on the first trip we stopped down there at the Macadamia Castle, or the Knock Row charger, if you've seen it on your Tesla screen there. And that was very easy, stopped there for a couple of minutes. And then at the Coffs Harbour, which is at the Park Beach Plaza there, Coffs Harbour Superchargers, again, no problems. We had the 2 little puppies with us and my other beagle, so we did need to stop anyway for dinners and for toilet breaks for them and give them a little bit of a walk around. and then straight through to my parents' house, which is just down near Maxville there in New South Wales. And then the trip back was pretty much the reverse, or near enough anyways. The second trip down, pretty similar, except on this one we stopped down there at the McLean supercharger, which was, it's very easy to get hold of. It's pretty much straight off the highway, and it's right there. Once previously, before I had the Tesla, I did pull up there, and it was actually flooded. So during the big floods that New South Wales there had, I think that was last year, it was actually flooded. So keep that in mind, that, you know, they're not all in perfect positions. So that one, I couldn't get access to even if I wanted to last year. But this year, no problems. It's right at the pub. If you're pulling up there on maybe a Friday night or a Saturday night, be prepared. There's a bit of probably live music and stuff going on at the pub, but otherwise we didn't stop in there, but would be a great place for dinner. But again, if you're stopping through the day, there's plenty of little parks there, and walk along the river while you wait for your charge. So the only thing that I didn't do, which I probably should have, is put my wheel covers back on, being the SR Plus with the 18s. Yeah, so I didn't put them back on for the more efficiency. To be honest, I didn't really think about it. I would be interested to do the trip again and see how much of a difference it actually makes. I've been told that it's something along the lines of 5% or so if you're at highway speeds, because I normally run the car without them, with just showing the alloys, which, you know, I quite like with the Aero wheel cap kit. Looking forward to possibly getting the full self-driving subscription once it comes out here in Australia, and giving that auto lane change, because I think that would be really handy on the long trips. But really what the trip had taught me is there is no problem. Now, I've only got the SR Plus, so I don't have the long range, so I do have what is essentially the smallest range of any of the Teslas at the moment. And to be honest, it was not a problem at all. You know, I know some people like to get in the car and just drive and not stop. But to be honest, when I got to my parents' house, I felt more refreshed than I probably ever have. And I think that was because I'd stopped and walked around and had a breather. You don't realize how draining driving on the highway is. Of course, do check out my Instagram, which is the Australian Tesla Guy. Really trying to build up that as well. And if you guys have any ideas for videos, maybe you've got Teslas and you want someone to do a video, or if you don't have one and there's something you want to know, then by all means chuck it in the comments. And then while you're down there, remember to like this video, and always good if you can subscribe, just so I know that people are watching, and so that it gives me a little bit more incentive to keep doing these videos. So look forward to seeing you out there on the road.